everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you 2 ways how to do a cut crease. So before we jump in, let's talk about what a cut crease is. So I'm talking about a cut crease like eyeshadow look. So this is where you have a one shade on your lid and then kind of one shade above your crease. So there's a line here which is called your crease, or that's what we refer it to when we're talking in makeup terms. So we're gonna cut it to get 2 different colors. It's basically what it is. You've probably heard about it. It was very 2016, kind of pre-2020 vibes, I think. And we've gone for more glowy looks recently and more natural and not those sharp cut creases. I think they're coming back, so this video is for you. You better watch it. Before I start the video, remember to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy this video and subscribe to my channel so you can see more makeup tutorials and makeup trends. But that's enough rambling, let's jump on into the video. Okay, as you can see, my brows are already done. If you do want a tutorial on this, please let me know down in the comments. I feel like what a good video could be is like the different ways to style your brows, like dip brow pomade, fluffy brows, laminated brows, all of that fun. So I might do a dedicated video to brows because I love eyebrows. But let me know if you do want that in the comments. So this is an eye look. This is why I've done my brows first. So my brows can be in place, and then we can focus on the eyeshadow, and then we'll do the base makeup. The reason we do this is because this is a full-on glittery pigmented eye look, and if we have any fallout, it won't mess up any of our base, and we can really go in there with our shadows and not worry about ruining anything. So as you saw from the title and my introduction, I hope, I'm showing you 2 ways of how to do a cut crease. So the first way, I'm going to do the simple way first, and then I'm going to do the more advanced. If you don't want to see the simple way, I'll put a time thing, whatever you call it is, like a number on the screen, and just skip to that part of the video if you want to go see that. But first, let's start with preparing the eyelid. So we have to do this for both easy and hard. This is so we can get the most color payoff for our eyeshadows, and so it's going to last all day so the shadows stick. And of course, you should know what eye base I'm going to use. And that is the P. Louise base in the shade 0.5. This one is a bit lighter than my skin tone. The reason I went for lighter is I thought like the colors would show up more if it's lighter. But the only problem with this, it like when you carve your brow, it doesn't blend as seamlessly, but so it's a bit harder to work with. But I enjoy it, and I thought I've bought it, let's use it up. But next time I might go for maybe 1, like the shade 1. But so what I did, I put some on my hand, and I'm gonna pick some up with a flat brush, and I'm really coating that brush. It just really helps make it apply a lot easier when you do that. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pat that into the lid, and I'm gonna take it out a little bit, make sure we go in and all the way up to the brow. And you can, what you do, you can use this to carve out that brow, just patting it in, being careful not to mess out the perfect brow. So now I've got it all on there, and you can see it's kind of patchy. So actually, I don't know if you're meant to do this or whatever, but it works for me. I take a finger and I just blend it out. Sometimes I do this with a beauty blender, but what this does, it evens out that product, making that perfect base. Now I think that eye is ready to go. So for both eyes, I'm going to do the exact same eyeshadow look so you get a real like good comparison. And for this, I'm actually going to go in the Revolution palette. This is the Roxy one. So you might know Roxy is a YouTuber. She does beauty, fashion, lifestyle kind of videos and like a lot of reviews, but this is the palette that she's released. So let's dig into this. So for this simple eyeshadow look, today we're going to go straight in with that shimmer shade. And today I'm going to be using this champagne kind of pinky flavor called Yas. So we're going to pick up that. So we're going to pick up that pigment on the flat brush. This is the Morphe 224 brush. But before we pick up the product, what I really like to do is just spray it with some setting spray. Just get it wet, get it damp. What was really bad, I used to, and I think a few other people just used to lick the brush and then pick it up. That's not sanitary. Please use either water, but setting spray is really good because it's got that stuff to make it more tacky. Then we just pick up that product, pushing it in, getting as much pigment payoff as possible. Now I've got the product on my brush, I'm just going to pat it into the lid and see. Look at that shine. Obviously it's very close to my skin tone color, so you might not be able to see it, but look, very simple, all over that lid, just to my crease. I like to go a bit above, so when my eyes open, you can see the cut crease a bit better, because I do have hooded eyes, so I like to go just about there. Then I can pick it up. If you don't have brushes and you want to make it super easy, take a finger, pick up that product, and then you can apply it like so. So shimmers actually apply a lot better with fingers as well sometimes, because they're more creamier shades and they just fit better, whereas sometimes when you pick up the product with the bristles, you don't coat the brush enough, whereas your flat finger can pick up all that pigment. And this is why you also do your eyes first, because look, I got a little bit of fallout, but I'm not bothered. Just hit my cup there if you were wondering what the sound was. So far we've prepped and we've applied the glitter. Now let's apply that tone above the crease. So we're using this same palette here, and I think I'm gonna go in with this gingerbread shade. So that's what it swatches like. So yeah, I'm going to go in with this shade here called gingerbread, and I'm gonna take this on a Morphe M056 brush. So what we just do, tap it in that color. Basically it's a very small, dense, kind of fluffy brush. Get out, and now what we do, tap off the excess. We want to make it easier for ourselves. So if you have less product on there, then we can be a bit more messy. But if you have more, then you've got to be really delicate. So now what I'm doing, I'm going just above that crease where that shimmer shade finishes. And I'm just buffing out this product. Just light touches above that shimmer shade, trying to make sure I don't go into the shade too much, as that's where I want my stunning cut crease to be. So I'm going to slowly bring this up above or kind of into the brow bone, but I'm not going to reach it, so about this shape like that. And as you can see, it's quite a pale color, and this is because this is my transition shade. And what I will do in a second, we'll go in with a darker one, just to add that little bit of depth, which we love from a cut crease. And did you see how easy that was? That was all blended out, simple, mwah, piece of cake. So I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm going to take up this shade here, which is called Cola. It's like a deep brown shade. So we just tap in, get some of that product, and tap off the excess. Now this time we're going to take that product and start at the crease again, and lightly blend that in to the shades that we already have there to create that depth, slowly blending it into the gingerbread shade. Remember, light circular motions. There's no rush to this, just go slow and it will pay off. And there it is, one cut crease finished. Now we've completed this one. If I close my eyes, as you can see, it's a bit simpler and the colors aren't got that like crisp, defined like cut, but it still gives off the same effect. Super easy and quick, and I use this technique myself sometimes when I'm in a rush. So you don't just have to be a beginner. It's just if you're a beginner or you haven't got much time in your day and you want to have the cut crease, this is the way to go. But now let's move on to the next eye. So if you skip to this part of the video, this is one eye look complete. So this was the simple side. Now let's go on to the more advanced, kind of more steps, more technical cut crease. So let's jump to it. If you did watch me do this eye, we're going to do the same first step. We're going to prep that base. And just a reminder, we're using the P. Louise base in the shade 0.5. And we're just picking that product up with a flat, dense brush. Not dense, more flat, kind of thin brush. This is from Doll Beauty. And what we're going to do, we're just going to tap that product in. So at the same time, we're pulling it out a little bit. And we're going to carve out that brow at the same time. Now to get that smooth base done, I'm just going to tap the product out with my finger. Now I believe that eyelid is ready for some colour. So I'm going to use the exact same shades I used on this eye, so we have a clear comparison to see the difference and to show you what the different techniques look like. So first we're taking this gingerbread shade here, picking up some of that product, and this is on a Morphe 456 brush. So this is our nice transition shade, I like to call it. And what we do, we tap off some of that excess, giving us more control of that color. And now what we're going to do, we're going to start with that color in the crease, slowly and lightly blend out that shadow. We're going to build it up in the crease, making it quite deep to start off with, and then we're going to slowly pull up that color upwards, blending it out, getting rid of any harsh lines, just light circles. One thing I am noticing is that massive color difference I'm getting from this eye and that eye. Kind of wondering, did I have any product left over in my brush from the last one? But can we like ignore that? But it goes on a lot different. I got more dark shade as I was doing that one, and it gives you just more pigment. But as you can see, it's got all over that crease, which means we have to take a few extra steps to carve it out in a bit. But next, as I'm flying this brush around, so I'm gonna go in with the Morphe M506, and I'm gonna pick up that other shade. So we're gonna go in with this shade here called Cola, remembering to tap off the excess. What we're going to do now, put the brush into your crease and swipe it about, giving some depth to that crease. But we got to remember, we don't want to take it far up to the brow. We just want to smoke it out. We just want to make some depth in our eye, and we slowly want to blend it. So what I like to do, rub it in that crease, and then just above the crease, little circles to blend in with that transition shade, that gingerbread shade. And there we go. That is our above the crease part done. As you can see, if I shut my eyes, the blending is similar. The shades are slightly different, and I'm not sure if I had any product remaining in that brush, but I also think that champagne shade could have affected the color we had originally. And we have got a lot of deeper pigments on this one. So this one has got more color, but that means it's harder. You've got more mess. And yeah, so now let's cut that crease. So we want a clear canvas or a blank canvas on the crease so we get a most payoff with that shimmer shade. And for this, I'm going to use the P. Louise Cut Carver. So what this is like a balm which you put on your eye and then wipe it away, and then it will clear the makeup that you put on that part of your eye. So I have done this in my previous videos, but I've actually used Vaseline before, but P. Louise have now brought out a product which you can use specifically for this. So what I do, I take a Q-tip. These are actually from IsoClean, but you can use any ones, and I rub it around in that product, coating one side of and then I kind of like smush it a bit, but this just coats one side of the Q-tip, keep the other one blank. And now what we want to do, we want to figure out what we want to clear. So I'm just going to wipe backwards and forwards on that eyelid, and as you can see, the color is slowly coming off. It kind of like melts your makeup away. If you think of like a cleansing balm, it's like that, to be honest. And then you probably could use the cleansing balm, you know, because you can also use micellar water, just anything to get that clean base. And there we go. We now have a blank space for the next pigment, which is going to be that champagne shimmer. But before we do that, to get the color lasting and to get it really pop, we are going to go in with that P. Louise base again. So I've got the same brush, and we're just going to tap on that lid, fill in that space. But be careful this time, you really don't want to go into the shadow above, as it kind of messes it up. But if it does, don't worry, just blend it out and that will fix it. Okay, and there we go. Super easy and simple. Now going back into this palette, I'm going to be taking this shade here called Yas. So if I didn't mention, because people may have skipped, I'm using the Revolution or Roxy palette. I've been using that for the entire look. So now we just pick up that Yas shade on this flat brush, and this is the Morphe M224. Then I forgot, but I like to give the brush a spritz to make sure it really picks up that pigment so we can really push it into the eye. And then next we're just going to push that color into the eye, making sure it really sticks onto that base. So there you can see you got quite a bit of color payoff, but at the same time I want to show you what it looks like if you do use your finger. Sometimes I feel like your finger picks up a bit more because the brush is like fibers, it doesn't like hold the color, whereas on the finger it will. So I'm just gonna rub around in that shade. There you go. And then I'm just gonna take it and push it in. And see, I just feel like it's a lot more shimmering. The only problem is it's obviously harder to get that nice blend. Okay, and now that shimmer is on, and look, it looks the same like with the color and the placement. This one looks a lot stronger in pigment, like it's a lot brighter, and boom, like you can see because I've cut it, I've cleaned that space, it just really highlights and shines because I put this on last, whereas I put this one shimmer on first. The other pigments may have fell and like dulled it down a bit, but it also could be because I've been wearing this one longer. But if I do close my eyes, it's a little messy on that crease, so let's tidy that up. What we do, we just take the brush we were using earlier, so this is the M506, the one that I use for the dark, deeper brown, and we're just gonna blend it out slightly just to make it a bit smoother. And there we have it. Those are both cut creases done. But before we judge them, before you can tell what looks best, we need to complete the rest of the makeup. So I'm going to do my base and add some lashes, and then we can come back and review, and we can talk about what we prefer, why it works better, and all of that fun. So I'll see you in 1 second, but this is probably going to take me like 10-15 minutes to do. So I'll be back. I'm back and the full face of makeup is complete. So I just did my base makeup, added some gloss, applied some mascara, but I did not apply a false eyelash today as I just wanted these eyeshadows to really speak to me and speak to you. As this is the focus, the lash would just take away from it in my opinion. So as a look, I actually love this makeup look. Like, oh, I haven't done something like this in a while. Like I haven't done a cut crease in a while. They are pretty similar. Look at these eyes. I think they're very, very similar. If I come closer to you and close my eyes, you can see that obviously this one, so for my left one, is a bit of a more pinky tone and the other one is more orangey. I think that's due to the way I mixed the colors, but when it comes to the blending and the color payoff, I think both of them are beautiful. Sorry, that might have been a bit weird of me just keeping my eyes closed while talking to the camera. I feel this one does have a bit more like glittery sparkle. I feel like it does stand out a little better, but not by loads. And honestly, the time difference, what this one, if I wasn't talking so much at the camera, like 2 minutes, this one 5 minutes max, maybe 5 to 10. So there's not much time difference, but it's about products, like on how much you have, how much you like want to use. Like for this, I could use 1 brush to do this eye. This one I had to use at least 3. Like, I don't know, it all depends what you prefer. Let me know in the comments which technique you prefer, 1 or 2. And yeah, that's it for this video. I could go on and chat and chat and chat, but I'm not going to do that to you. I just want to mention I'm sorry for not posting a video last week. I've just been going through like a little bit of a hard time, but I'm back and I feel better. So if you have any video suggestion ideas, please let me know in the comments. And remember to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, because I honestly really enjoyed this video, like making it. I thought to myself like, oh, I'm a bit down, do I want to make a video? But I had so much fun doing this look, so I feel like maybe some more makeup tutorials will come up on my channel, but let me know if you want anything specific. Anyway, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I really do hope you enjoyed it, because I did. And I hope I see you in my next video and next week. And remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on it. But I will see you next week. Bye, guys.